I didn't say a word. When they tried to shut off my solar farm, I just flipped one switch, and City Hall went dark. Dark. During the mayor's daughter's wedding reception. This is the story of how one veteran engineer brought a corrupt city council to its knees, with nothing but the sun. I was just a retired Army Signal Corps engineer, living quietly on 32 acres of Texas land, running a solar farm Pops and I built from scratch. But in politics, independence is dangerous, and I was too independent. The mayor, Richard Alton, 56 years old, career politician, addicted to the spotlight, and his shadow, HOA president Karen Holbrook, pearls around her neck, fake smile on her lips, and power in her hands. They didn't want my farm. They wanted control, and when I refused to sell, they came to destroy me. They called my solar panels a public nuisance, filed fake complaints, noise, glare hazards, radiation risks, all lies. And the newspaper? It ran the headline, "Troubled Veteran Blocks Community Growth." Here's something they didn't want people to know. Most cities depend on a single-point substation. If that substation fails, backup power keeps the lights on. And guess who provided 27% of this city's emergency backup? Me. While they buried me in complaints and fines, I found something they'd forgotten about. A contract. Signed in 2009. The Net Metering Agreement, Clause 7B. It said, "In exchange for surplus solar contribution, operator shall retain emergency backup authority during grid failure." Translation? If the city grid failed, I wasn't just backup, I was in charge. They scheduled my shutdown for Saturday. But fate has a sense of humor, because that Saturday was the mayor's daughter's wedding at City Hall, under 1,000,000 fairy lights, paid for with taxpayer money. They picked the wrong day to play God with the sun. At 7:03 p.m. Right as the bride walked down the aisle, I disconnected my solar farm from the city grid. Legally. By contract. Within 90 seconds, the chandeliers flickered, the music stopped, and City Hall went dark. Karen screamed about terrorism. The mayor shouted about sabotage. But the cameras were rolling, and when the reporters came to me, I showed them the contract. This wasn't sabotage, this was law. Under federal energy law, cutting off a contracted backup isn't terrorism. It isn't sabotage. It's called non-performance by municipality. The penalty? $50,000 per hour. And by Monday morning, they weren't charging me. They were paying me. The city faced lawsuits. The HOA collapsed. And the mayor? He resigned within 6 months. Karen fled to Florida. And me? My solar farm became a community cooperative. The same neighbors who once mocked me lined up to buy in. The power stayed on. The sun kept shining. And I kept my land. I didn't fight them. I didn't shout. I just turned off the lights and let the truth shine brighter than the sun.